All right, we want to welcome Karalynn Call to the podcast today. She is also known as Just Ingredients on Instagram. And we are very pleased to have you with us today. And I feel that you have a great following with moms because these are things that are important for our kids that the ingredients and the toxins that we're putting on our kids can be very harmful on them and on us. And so with you bringing awareness to this, I think is really important to many moms out there and be able to raise our kids. So can you kind of tell us about your story and how you got to be the Just Ingredients girl?
How did you become the expert on Just Ingredients?
On Just Ingredients. Well, thank you for having me. And I'll tell you a little bit about my backstory. So 15 years ago, I actually found myself with severe suicidal depression. And I had 3 little kids at the time, but my little baby was over a year. And so they don't consider that postpartum depression once they hit a year. So anyways, I went to doctor after doctor trying to get help. And every doctor
Doctor, like medical, you're still just
yes,
medical, right?
Yeah, medical doctors.
Okay.
And they would say to me, oh, well, here's an antidepressant for you. And don't get me wrong, I had to go on an antidepressant and it saved my life at the time. But my issue was I kept saying to them, well, will this heal me? Because I hadn't always been like this. So I wanted something that would heal me. And they kept telling me, no, it's not going to heal you. It's just going to help you with your symptoms. And I was like, well, I don't fit right with that. I want to heal from it. I know my body can heal from this if I know how. Anyways, long story short, 2 years later, I found a different doctor who was like, yeah, I can help you heal from this, but it's going to take work on your part. And we need to do some testing. We need to see if your hormones are balanced. We need to check your inflammation out. We should talk about your gut and your microbiome in your gut. We should look at different products that you're using in your beauty products and things like that. Anyways, basically an overhaul of everything I was doing and said, let's look at all of that and see what's going on. And of course, my hormones were off and my adrenal glands were having issues and my inflammation was way high. And so anyways, I went on like an 18
thyroid issue at all as well?
I don't.
Oh,
so they checked that.
Because I do a lot of thyroid work, and that's a common thing after their second and third pregnancy that they all of a sudden go to this postpartum depression thing. So
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. So that wasn't one of mine, but anyways, so I went on like an 18-month journey with her and cleaned up everything, and she helped me wean off the antidepressants. And ever since, I've never had to deal with depression just because of how I treat my body and take care of my body and don't use the things that are messing up my microbiome and my gut health and things like that. And so that was
sorry, I hate to interrupt you. Let's just preface. When you say microbiome, a lot of people still don't understand that term. So basically, microbiome is the good bacteria in your gut that helps affect both brain function as well as digestive function.
Right. Yep. So that was 13 years ago. And so ever since, I've just been trying to clean up our diet and the toxins in our home and things like that. And about 3 years ago, I just really felt this inner feeling, this gut feeling to start sharing my story with others, because I had so many neighbors and family members and friends that were struggling with autoimmune issues and depression and migraines and all sorts of illnesses, that I knew that if they knew a little bit more about their diet and the beauty products they were using and the food they were, eating, that it could really help them. And so then I just started speaking out, and it's grown into a big following on Just Ingredients. And I think that's because moms out there are wanting to do better. They just don't know how to do better. And so I try to do the research for them and show it in a simple way of, hey, maybe you should use this product rather than this product because the research says blah, blah, blah. Right. So I'm doing the research and showing them what to maybe switch out or change in their home. And that's just an easy thing for parents that are moms that are wanting to do better to grab onto.
I think one of the things is when we start to go down this road, it can actually be like an endless rabbit hole of trying to get everything out of our life that can be toxic. But I think one thing that you do to help people to understand is that it's not that you're shaming everything that's out there. You're just giving them better options and showing them, good, better, best, or, you know, these are some things that you might want to watch out for and things like that, and bringing more awareness, because it is really hard to just go in and clear out everything, but we can really just start with some of these basics. So what are
Right.
some of these basics that you kind of think about would be best to start with?
Well, so I always tell people to take baby steps on this, because if you just try to jump into all of this all at once, it's like sprinting through a marathon. It's impossible. Just take baby steps and go slow at this,
Well,
and
you'll
make one little.
way too fast, and then you'll quit. Yeah.
Exactly. You'll sprint and burn out and not want to do it anymore. So if you take baby steps, then it becomes a whole lifestyle change rather than some trendy new fad or diet. And so I tell everybody, like, use up what you have, and when you're ready to rebuy that product, so like a lotion or a flour or sugar, I mean, anything from food to body to cleaning supplies, when you're ready to buy it, just buy the better choice. So don't go into your bathroom and throw out everything and go to the store and spend hundreds of dollars replacing it. It's just not possible for most people, but use up your item and replace it with a better product.
So, like, with what are some of these ingredients then you think? Let's kind of start with more
Like your top 10 or something like that.
Yeah, but we kind of need to go with the categories too, because cleaning products is different than makeup. So let's kind of go through some of these categories that you have, that you kind of have planned out, so that we can know what are the best ones to not
Okay.
have products.
So I divide everything up into 3 groups. So I do food. So I always tell people with toxins, we digest them, which is our food. We absorb them, which I say is through our beauty products, like on our skin and things. And then we breathe them. And that's like air fresheners and cleaning supplies and things like that. So with food, that's where I tell people to start with their food. And for instance, one of the ingredients I would say is artificial dyes. There's no need for the artificial dyes, especially with these kids and all the fruit snacks and the gummies and things. And artificial dyes are found in hand soap that we're using multiple times a day. It's in kids' vitamins, you know, that they're being given daily. It's in their snacks. So that's an ingredient that's really easy to just find a better choice at the store. Find the fruit snack without the artificial dye. Find the hand soap without the artificial dye. So another one is high fructose corn syrup. People with gut health and people with gut issues, I should say, there's a lot of research showing that contributes to it. And so high fructose corn syrup actually is a really easy one to switch in your home, because you don't have to go shop at like Whole Foods or Sprouts or somewhere. At your local grocery store, you'll see a Heinz ketchup with high fructose corn syrup and a Heinz ketchup sitting right next to it without the high fructose corn syrup, or any brand of.
It's really not that much difference in cost. Like, I was actually, because the reason why they use the high fructose corn syrup is because of cost.
Yeah, so cheap.
And then they can make it a lot cheaper.
Right.
But, you know, when you're looking at a whole bottle of ketchup and it might be like $1 more, it's so much more worth it to get the natural ingredients in it rather than the high fructose corn syrup.
Well, and that is a big one. You
Right.
mentioned it's not that hard, but actually it's very hard in the aspect of it's in everything.
That's true.
High fructose corn syrup, they have now put it in everything. And it's not about the sugar that we ingest, just the sugar. It's all the hidden sugars, and the high fructose corn syrup being one of the major ones of how they get it there.
Right. And it is in everything. And I think if people are just aware of, oh, maybe I should check the label and see that there's a jelly with it and a jelly sitting right next to it for almost the same price without it.
Right.
You know, so it's just educating people like, hey, maybe you might just want to check that on your kid's peanut butter and jam sandwich that you're making, you know, things like that. So
That's a great one.
So artificial dyes, high fructose corn syrup. Then I talk a lot about artificial sweeteners. A lot of these artificial sweeteners weren't made until the late 90s. And so for some of us, we didn't grow up on that. These are newer ingredients that we need to be aware of. And so I just try to educate moms that, hey, when it says less sugar or, you know, less sugar, it doesn't mean it's a better product for you. Right. Or no added sugar. That actually meant no added sugar. Now that just means maybe some sucralose or some Ace K or something else added in instead of
no added
sugar.
But added chemicals.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to teach moms, like, hey, don't get fooled by all of this confusing marketing. You know, less sugar does not mean healthier. So added sweet or artificial sweeteners is another one. Another one that I talk a lot about is hydrogenated oils. Um, it used to be partially hydrogenated oils, but by January of 2020, we're supposed to see all the partially hydrogenated oils gone, and hopefully we will. They used to be in things just like Ritz crackers and soda crackers and things that we feed our kids all the time. And there's a lot of research showing all the, you know, heart health issues with partially hydrogenated oils. And anyways, we don't need Ritz crackers made with that. We know how to make them without the partially hydrogenated oils. And so now they're switching though to just hydrogenated oils, which isn't that much better anyways. So things like that, those are the ingredients that I try to, you know, teach people about.
Can you explain a little bit? I hadn't heard that the U.S. had come out and said that that you can no longer use partially hydrogenated. I didn't know.
Yeah, so they banned it in 2018, but they gave companies all the way to 2020 to get rid of their inventory. Yeah, their inventory and stuff. And so companies are redoing their recipes or bringing their recipes from Europe into America. But they're getting tricky though with it, because now they're doing hydrogenated oils and using mono and diglycerides instead. And mono and diglycerides have hidden trans fat in them. And so I'm trying to teach my readers about that as well. So they replace it one for something else, when in reality, let's just avoid hydrogenated oils to begin with.
So basically we should make it from scratch with our coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, things like that.
Well, and so that actually is a lot about my site, because there are a ton of sites out there that are teaching to just make everything from scratch. But we're busy moms. Like, I cannot make everything from scratch. And so I'm trying to show people, here's the better choice on the store shelf. Just grab this one. I know you don't have time for everything homemade, you know? So that's where I'm trying to show people, is that there is a better option at the store if you know what you're looking for.
Okay, so those are your ones with your food. What about, should we then move on to, what about the makeup? The things that
yeah, and I do have more with food, but it would take all day to get through all 10 of them. So with makeup, there's artificial dyes. There's also parabens, which is a preservative, which is a controversial paraben, but we know how to preserve with vitamin E. So let's just use the vitamin E. And then the other thing is phthalates. That's another big one. And then formaldehyde releasers. But phthalates is what I really don't like. It's an endocrine disruptor. And the problem is they don't have to be written on a label. And so they're hidden within the fragrances of body lotion and body sprays and shampoos and you name it. It's got a fragrance. It most likely has the phthalates in it. The phthalates are what help keep that fragrance potent.
How is it
and so
on the back of the shampoo? Does it just say added fragrance, or how is it worded?
Yeah, so it will never say phthalates on there, and so you just have to look for fragrance or perfume, something along those lines.
Okay, so what's the next one then?
For beauty products?
Yes,
Well, my two, like my big ones is phthalates, and then I also look for parabens, just because that's another endocrine disruptor, and we don't need them.
Just in a quick second, explain what phthalates do and what parabens do, just so people are aware of those.
So phthalates is what keeps your fragrance potent. It's what they use, the chemical, to keep the fragrance potent, but it's an endocrine disruptor.
Meaning your hormone system.
Right, exactly. And then parabens are a preservative, which we need a preservative to keep the water and the body lotion and stuff not molding, right? You don't want it to get moldy and have bacteria and other things in it, but we have other preservatives that we know how to use, like vitamin E, that is a much better choice for our body to absorb than the parabens.
And what's the negative effects of parabens?
So parabens are also considered an endocrine disruptor.
Okay, perfect.
So
I just wanted the audience to know why they were bad.
Right.
And it's smells that bring people to a lot of these products. They like
What was, oh yeah, for sure.
they
For sure.
want their hair to smell good. They want their lotion to smell good. They want their clothes. They like
Yeah,
that downy smell or things like that.
And companies advertise Gain, right? The detergent Gain. That's what their whole thing is.
for sure. Yep. And especially these teenage girls. I mean, they want all the smelly lotion and smelly whatever to go to school with, you know. So I am trying to show people that you can still have those smelly lotions. Let's just make or buy the ones that were made with natural products or
Oils.
good essential oils or things like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
let's move on to the next category, which is your cleaning products. And Jessica.
so the EPA just recently did a study where they tested the air quality in thousands of people's homes, and that air quality came back more pollutant than major cities like New York. And so the EPA said, this is something you guys can do something about. And it's things like air fresheners and candles and cleaning supplies and all those things that are emitting fragrance into the air that is causing these air pollution problems. And so I just show people easy ways, you know, use this diffuser with essential oils rather than your plugins, or use a beeswax candle that can actually help clean the air rather than your paraffin candle. Use these plants in your home. You know, NASA did that really cool study where they showed that plants can actually help get rid of like formaldehyde and benzene and different chemicals in your air. So I'm just trying to show them little things like buy some plants that will help your bathroom area, you know, or get rid of this plug-in. Just trying to help moms see what they can do better in their homes.
What are some of the simplest cleaning products somebody can put together on their own so that they don't have to use, you know, the store-bought stuff?
Yes, so people hate, well, a lot of people tell me they hate cleaning with vinegar, which I don't blame them. It does stink. So I tell them, like, you can do vinegar with lemon and it will take that vinegar smell away. And that's a great all-purpose cleaner. But another all-purpose cleaner that I use a ton is my baking soda. I clean my oven with my baking soda. I actually do my laundry with baking soda. When my carpet is starting to stink, I will pour the baking soda all over it and then do some vacuuming. So I also am trying to show people little tips that they can do at home with natural products.
You know, these kind of products is what, you know, our parents used to use, you know, our grandparents used to use it all the time. We switched over to using a lot of vinegar for our cleaning our bathroom.
And our kids complain about the smell. So we didn't know that little trick with the lemon. So give me an idea of, like, if you're using just one sprayer, how much lemon do you have to put in? How much vinegar do you have to put in?
So you can actually use lemon essential oils, or what I like to do is, this sounds funny. So after you've like squeezed a lemon, like you're using it in a salad dressing or something, just keep all those lemons in vinegar in your refrigerator. And so when you go to make your all-purpose cleaner, use that vinegar because it's like lemon infused vinegar. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
And so it's giving you that lemony smell for your vinegar.
Does only lemon work, or would, like, because you can get essential oil that's orange?
You could use orange or grapefruit, lime, whatever.
You just do a couple of drops into the bottle.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's a great one. Good. I like that. That's a great get.
Now you know. Now your kids won't complain, hopefully.
No, because they do. And we even use it at my office, and my staff has said some stuff like, you can tell it's been cleaned because it smells like vinegar. But we switched everything to not the chemicals, you know, in the last little bit. And because, you know, putting on the conference, doing everything, it's like, okay, we got to change some stuff too.
So
yeah, that's awesome.
I felt really bad because we have our kids clean the bathrooms, and
we don't feel bad about that.
No. Every time I had them clean it, I was like, oh, these chemicals are just so bad that I don't like to ingest them. Why would I want my kids to be able to? And so that's why we made the switch, because we just wanted to go.
But we are now going to put some, because we have some orange on our counter right there, and we're going to put that in those drops and see how that does. So that's great.
So
that's awesome.
You're going to be at our next conference, the Be Healthy Utah Conference, April 17th.
I am.
And you're actually going to be speaking there. Do you want
Yep,
to
I'm excited.
like a sneak peek of kind of what you're thinking about speaking there? I know that you still have some time to put it together, but what are some things that you might be talking about while you're there?
What I would love to talk about is more of like what I've been talking to you about, but also just giving more tips, especially natural things that you can do in the kitchen with cooking. And yeah, cooking and cleaning. I'll just give more natural tips, because a lot of times people think, oh my gosh, this is so expensive, I can't do all of this. Because sometimes the organic or the cleaner brands at the store are more expensive, so it does get hard financially. And I'm trying to teach people you can make these healthy changes on a budget as well. For instance, vinegar and some essential oils is not
cheap.
That's cheap, you know. So I also try to show that in the kitchen as well. So I'll show like some natural tips, some things to avoid, some budget ideas, all sorts of things.
And you're also going to have a booth there because you're selling some natural products now, right?
Yes. So, so I just created our own natural deodorant and natural face serum, because I believe that beauty products should nourish your body, not be a harm to them. And so many of the products that we put on our body just aren't good for us. And so like my face serum is just pure organic jojoba oil with some frankincense in it, which is really healing, you know, for your skin cells, and a little bit of essential oil mix to make it smell good. And it's all organic essential oils that we use. And so that just is really nourishing to your skin. And deodorant, you know, there's all this new info with clogging our lymph nodes and breast cancer and
isn't that they tried several years ago, they tried to squash all that, saying no, that's not true, that's fake, da, 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 da. And now it's all coming back out again that no, those people that were considered the quacks were actually right.
Yeah, exactly. And well, and then there's the aluminum in the deodorant as well. And so anyways, we just made a clean deodorant and baking soda is in a lot of the natural deodorants, but we used magnesium instead, because baking soda gives a lot of people rashes, or they're just have irritations to it. So I love our new deodorant, and so we'll be selling that at the conference. And I've got some more products in January that we're launching, and so those will be ready for the conference as well.
I think your audience is going to be very excited about that, and that they can come to the conference and meet you. So you also said that there's going to be a discount for some of your listeners on the podcast.
Yes, so I do have a discount. It's Be Healthy 10. And so that'll be a 10% off discount for these products that I have out now, and for the products that are coming out in January.
And how do people, do you have a website? Are they just finding you?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I should tell them. So I do have a website now. It's called justingredients.us. And so you can go to that website to get the deodorant, the face serum. I even sell like cheat sheets and guides there that are to help people in this process of cleaning up their life. And so all of those are there. And so you can use the Be Healthy 10 for any of those products.
All right, good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. And we're excited for your new products. They're going to be coming out, and that you can have them there at your booth. So. Well,
thank you. I'm excited about them too.
Is there anything else that you were thinking about that you wanted to share before we end? Our time is kind of coming close to the end. Is there anything else in your thought process that you were thinking about you wanted to make sure that the audience would be able to know or understand?
No, we've covered some basics. I would just tell people, take it one step at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. Take baby steps and be consistent, because a lot of moms have, you know, older kids in the home. So like 12-year-olds, 13, 14, whatever, who give them a lot of backlash on this. Like, what? Where's my Lucky Charms? Or what? Where's our daily Oreos? Or whatever. So I tell the parents, just be consistent. If your kids know that this is a true lifestyle change that you're really going to work on, then eventually they'll come around and be on board with you too. But if they think it's just some new 2-week fad, you know, they're not going to buy into it at all. And so I tell parents, be consistent, baby steps as you go. And also educate your kids as you go along. Tell them why you're doing this, why this is going to better their life and better their health and things like that. So that's what I would tell all the moms out there.
Kind of give them hope and inspiration. Before
Right.
you want to just say what your Instagram account is and what your website is again.
And yeah, how do you get hold of you?
Yeah. And
Yes. So my Instagram is just.ingredients. And so like just ingredients, but that was taken. So just.ingredients, and the website is justingredients.us. So either place you can find me, and on justingredients.us, there is also a blog that we've started. And so you can find past things that I've talked about and videos and things like that on the blog.
Oh, good. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we are excited to hear more about you. And
we appreciate all you did for our conference last year and what you're going to bring to it for this year. So thanks.
Well, thank you. I'm excited for that conference. It was amazing last year. So excited to see how it is this year.
Awesome.
All right. See you later.